21 best Brawl Stars glitches of all time. Supercell games seem to be unbreakable at times, but developers are people and people make mistakes. For that reason, there seems to be quite a community following glitches left and right as they appear, scouting the game for bugs, errors, and the next way to break the game. I made a similar video about 2 years ago, but it's time to update that list with newer glitches and revisit some of the old golden ones from the past. This time around, we're also going to be adding a oof meter to see how bad it broke the game. So let's get right into it. 49 megaboxes for 49 gems offer. This one is way up in the oof meter because of the offer actually working. Like, what the heck? Imagine just logging on and seeing an offer like this. Let's backtrack a bit. On July of 2019, players under 4K trophies received a rather questionable offer. Everyone knows the old saying that goes, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. But this time, it was true. The offer in question was a deal for 49 megaboxes for 49 gems. That is 1 gem per megabox. See, I know my math. Players who actually bought the deal received the 49 boxes and unlocked a ton of stuff. The fun doesn't end there though, because once you opened all 49 boxes, you received some gems. Like, why? It almost sounds like I'm telling a false myth here, but yes, this actually happened. It was patched quickly, and I'm not sure if those players got to keep what they got, but I'm pretty sure they did. I mean, I can't really find anything about it, so yeah. Big penguins. Now this one is actually one of the most recent glitches. While writing this video, I saw a few Reddit posts on it, and I noticed it was literally a week ago. Now I don't know if it was patched or not, or if Big Game has been in rotation since then, but Mr. P's new gadget in Big Game pretty much makes his porters have over 90,000 health. Holy smokes. Clearly, taking this little potters out with 90k health is no easy task. Now, I'm not sure how much they're supposed to have because everything in Big Game is increased, but it ain't supposed to be 90k. This was pretty high up on that meter. Friendly fire on. No, it's not fake. You can actually take out your teammates. How? Well, you know that infamous swapping star powers glitch? Well, yeah. A lot of weird things came from that glitch, you know. But if you somehow got to swap Bull star power and Poco, it allowed Bull to kill his teammates. Now, this only worked in friendly matches, so it's gonna be pretty low on the scale, but it's still crazy to imagine being able to take out your teammates. Like, how? This glitch was bigger than just that though. For a couple years, you were able to swap star powers and gadgets with any brawler in any friendly match, and do things like rapid fire on slow brawlers or walk fast on slow brawlers. You could even give Carl 2 pickaxes. I believe it's been permanently patched though recently, I think like a month or 2 ago, but it was great while it lasted. Free trophies. There used to be this crazy glitch where after a few losses you would be matched up with noob bot accounts and you could practically win infinite trophies. If you guys don't know what noob bot accounts is, it's pretty much the account you face when you first start playing the game. Now I'm gonna have to put this one really high up on that scale because it kind of broke the leaderboards for a minute there. Anyone could be in the leaderboards if they tried the glitch because you had an easy supply of trophies, and it made players that actually pushed for real pretty upset. I'm not sure how quickly this was patched, but I'd like to say it didn't last for more than a day. This type of stuff usually gets fixed rather quickly thanks to the developers. The Gene Crash. I don't know, I made up these names for these glitches, but I couldn't think of a good one for this one, so I'm just gonna call it the Gene Crash. Anyways, when Gene was added, there was something wrong with him. I mean, he looked fine, but he was equipped with some extra game-breaking features. Literally. Every time Gene used his super, the game would crash for everyone in the match. Yes, all 10 people, or 6 if you were playing another game mode, got kicked from the game when Gene used his super. A top glitch video isn't complete without this glitch. This one is off the meter. Why? Well, since Gene was a new brawler, practically every single match you entered had a Gene. So yeah, you can see where this is going. The entire game was broken. You couldn't battle. I believe it was patched about an hour or two after, so yeah, it was game breaking, but it didn't last long. Through walls. I titled this one Through Walls because there's simply been a lot of glitches involving either hitting through a wall, passing the ball through a wall, or literally walking through it. I guess this one is a 3-in-1 combo, I don't know. I'm gonna have to put this really high in that scale because even though it looks simple, this was easily exploitable. I'll briefly explain how each of them worked. So passing the ball through a wall required a very specific wall setup, which I tried in my Mythbusters, and after trying the setup you could pass the ball through a little ledge. Hitting through the wall simply required you to literally hit the wall with some brawlers, and walking through it I believe happened randomly with a Mortis or any brawler that dashes. Overall, they're pretty good examples of times when the walls were simply broken. In fact, I think 2 of these still happen today. The Blasted Brawler. This is a graphical glitch, so it's gonna be at the lowest point on the scale, but it was hilarious. Basically, some brawlers just looked weird. The only example I could find was Primo though. During the match, he looked like he exploded, like blasted. That's why I gave it the name Blasted Brawler. After the match, he appeared like this in the results screen, like, what is going on? I just wanted to include this one for the last, really, but it's one of those random bugs that had no impact in the game. Now that we're on the topic of graphical glitches though, there also was a Crow one that made him look big. All you had to do was go to a training cave and find a spot where you could reload your super over and over and then spam it. Eventually, Crow will grow in size and it just made up for some pretty hilarious screenshots. Everyone at first place. I mean, this one was easily exploitable at higher trophies, so it's bad. Basically, everyone in solo got first place if they all died at the same time. And if you've been trophy pushing lately and got very high up there, you know the chances of matching up with someone you know is pretty high. So for a brief period of time, if all players in the match knew each other for some reason, they could easily all get first place by agreeing to do the glitch. Now, whether this happened often or not, I have no idea. I'd imagine it's pretty hard to get a match full of 9 other people that you know, but still, when you did hit the jackpot with your friends, it worked. 3-person duo. This one only worked in friendly battles, but it's exactly what it sounds like. Instead of a duo, you had a trio, but in a duo. That's kind of confusing. Somehow players found a glitch that allowed them to bring an extra teammate into their duo match, and it was great for trolling. That's pretty much it. It was pretty harmless, so I'm gonna put it a little lower on that scale. But there was also another one later on that worked again with a 9 team and 1 enemy. Like 9 players in a duo. Now that's crazy. I believe these 2 have been patched though, like everything else on this video, well, most things. But it was fun while it lasted. Primo's super goal. The oof size on this one is massive. This one was bad. Well, if you knew how to do it. Most people failed in an attempt to try the glitch and it made up for some pretty great funny moment videos. Anyways, as you can see on screen, you could do some sort of trick where you threw the ball in front of you and immediately supered and you'd be carrying the ball with you. After that, you were either at the goal or at least close enough to make it. Clearly, playing Primo and Brawl Ball came with some extra unexpected features. If you knew how to do it, then you can pretty much win every Brawl Ball match, which was very game breaking. Daryl's extra distance. No, I don't mean rolling on water so you can roll farther. I mean literally rolling half across the map. Whoa. Since it worked in public matches, I'm gonna have to give this one, halfway there on the meter. Basically, at one point, Daryl was broken, and that's no surprise because he's been broken numerous of times, but this time, he was broken. In the early days of the game, there was a bug that allowed him to roll from one side of the map to the other. As you guys see on the footage that's been playing on the background of this old heist match, Daryl rose near his spawn all the way to the enemy safe. Now I believe this was caused by the water. When he touched the water, his rolling distance would reset and he would roll a lot farther. And since there were 2 instances where he passed through water, he pretty much used 3 supers in 1 roll. It's pretty crazy to think that this would ever occur, but luckily we have footage to prove this, because if I said it and there was no footage, you probably wouldn't believe me. Sprout moving vaults. This one is interesting because you aren't supposed to move any objects that are placed in the map besides maybe the boxes. We've seen that Sprout can move boxes, and yeah, that's supposed to happen. But the vaults, I don't think that's supposed to happen. With the newest and hottest brawler in town at the time, Sprout, his super was a bit too strong. He was able to throw his super at the heist vault in Siege IKE and move it like, what? Bring the meter. Now raise it. Yeah. Yeah, this one was kind of game breaking because it led to many people pushing their vaults away from the enemy. Same thing goes for the IKE. They would move it into a corner and it would be easier to defend it against the enemies, making the match a lot harder and really unfair. This one was definitely game breaking if you ask me, and Supercell had to act fast because god, it was a mess. Max time and Robo Rumble. I actually remember trying this back in the day. Basically, you can get the max time in a Robo Rumble by following a few easy steps. You would first super a Primo into a part of the map that the robots couldn't reach, and then they would get distracted by the Primo and the walls, and once they spawned, they would all try to reach the Primo, but they couldn't. So it would cycle on and on. They would spawn and they'd try to get the Primo, and then it wouldn't work. That would happen throughout the entire match, and you can easily get the max time by doing this. Now you're probably wondering, why didn't they go for the other brawlers? Well, that's because the other teammates were too far. Now on this scale, we'll have to go kind of in the middle there, because although it wasn't a real match, it seems kind of harmless, you know. It still impacted the game a little bit. You can exploit the glitch for the maximum reward you got from the event. And at the time, tickets were still a thing. So you could get a lot of tickets from just that one glitch. You could put down 20 tickets and get an insane reward. I'd like to say there was a bit of damage here done. Colorful bats. Now this one I got from my Mythbuster series, and I thought it was pretty freaking cool. To be honest, it's probably one of my favorite ones I got to try, and I think it still works. It might get fixed later down the road though, depending on when you're watching the video. It's a very harmless glitch. Basically, when using 2 specific brawlers with 2 specific star powers, you can get the bats that Mortis spawns to stay in the map, and they would stay there the entire match. You could do it over and over and they still be there, so you can fill up the map with bats. What's even cooler is that if it was an enemy Mortis, it spawned red bats. If it was a friendly, it was green. And if you tried it with a Frank, it was purple. You could do this all match long and pretty much make a bat rainbow. Well, these colors wouldn't really make a rainbow, but yeah, you get my point. Carl losing his pickaxe. So there was this small glitch that made Carl lose his weapon of choice and not be able to attack. Who am I kidding? It was a huge glitch. For some reason, when you pulled a Carl while he was throwing his axe with a Jean and then used Jean's gadget immediately after, Carl would lose his axe. I think the crazy part is how this even happened in the first place. Weren't the brawlers connected to their weapons? How the heck do you even lose a weapon? Like, it just disappeared into thin air. Although it looked like it wasn't a big deal though, if you were in a solo match, you'd be in big trouble. Cue the meter. Out of the map glitch. This one is also from my Mythbuster series. I tried to do this glitch and it seemed to be patched at the time of trying, but basically the way it worked, when it worked, you would have a Sprout and a Surge in a match, and then Sprout would trap him in a corner with his super, and Surge would use his gadget and end up outside the map. When I tried it though, the 2 brawlers simply teleported to wherever there was land, which is still cool in itself. Speaking of out of the map glitches, there was also the infamous Brawl Ball one where you simply walked out of the map and chilled near the goal. All of these glitches have one thing in common, and that's that they needed to be done in a friendly match to achieve it. I think maybe not the Brawl Ball one, but I don't know. These out of the map glitches were pretty harmless, so I can't put them too far up. But that brings me to the next glitch. Traveling Daryl. Yes, it's sort of similar to the other out-of-map glitches, but this one feels different. It's kind of unique on its own. So there was this one map called Island Invasion. I'm not 100% sure if it's still in the game or not, but that's not important. What is important is that this map was surrounded by water. And well, we all know Daryl rolls farther in water. He'll keep rolling until he finds land, you know. So naturally, people tried to get Daryl out of the map, and it worked. All you had to do was aim his super and he'd roll outside the map until he found land. They made it so easy. Now I'm not sure how long it took to fix, but I did get a chance to try it once and it was pretty cool. It was available in public matches though, so I'm gonna have to give it half on that scale. You could simply roll outside the map and run away from an enemy, which is kind of bad. Penny's mortar super range. Now this one seems pretty harmless, so editors, cue the scale. Oh wait, I edit my own videos. Anyways, in this clip here, it seems as though Penny's mortar had a glitch that gave it some insane range. I'm not exactly sure what the mortar was aiming at though, because there's nothing over there. I mean, it seems like it's out of the map, so it didn't affect anything in the match, but still. That's some serious range. I kind of wonder though, maybe the mortar bugged out and was trying to shoot the brawler that was spawning. I don't know, I could be wrong, but it looks like that can be a pretty reasonable explanation. Flying Daryl. Now, I'm not sure why this happened, but my best guess is the game forced the Daryl into the air from the amount of pressure there was from the combined supers. It's a pretty cool visual bug, but in terms of it breaking the game, it's pretty far down there, and it didn't really cause much harm. A random Daryl flying into the air, it's not something you see every day, but luckily, it was pretty harmless. Stuck in a wall. For some reason, Gene likes attention. There's been a lot of glitches involving Gene. He likes to get into a lot of trouble, you know. In this glitch, Gene was able to pull someone into a wall and they would somehow get stuck in it. Unable to move, they couldn't do anything. Yeah, it was that easy. Now, I'm pretty sure you had to get the positioning right and time it correctly, but man, getting stuck in a wall and not being able to do anything for the rest of the match sure is a bummer. I'm pretty sure throwers could take you out though, as well as someone who could destroy walls with their attack. So it wasn't really the entire match, I guess, but still, I wouldn't put this one very high on that meter. I mean, it looks kind of just one of those goofy whoops moments. Blocking the safe. This one is similar to Sprout moving the safe, but instead of moving it, he could practically block the safe from robots in Robo Rumble. Good way to get a high score, eh? Well, that's exactly why it was bizarre. Anything that gives you easy points or an easy high score on something, it's gonna get patched rather quickly. There isn't much to this glitch besides that though. I can't see myself giving this more than a quarter on that scale, but it was pretty cool. So guys, that should be it for this video. I mean, this is longer than I expected. It sure is a long video, but hope you guys enjoyed. You guys wanted to see an updated version of this. I usually update my list every 2-3 years or so and add more things. So yeah, it was about that time again. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and one more thing before we go. I know a lot of people are going to be upset that I didn't say back in the intro, so let's do that real quick. Yo, what's going on guys? Havoc here now. There's your daily dose of dankness. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a gaming outs. Peace.